Poke Peeps? Your CC trainer here, aka Preston, and welcome to WeNerdOut. And in this video, we're going to be bringing you guys something special today. We're going to be bringing you guys, as you can tell by the title, our favorite Pokemon of each type. Now, we decided to do this because, well, I personally have been seeing a lot of PokeTubers do this, and where our channel don't mainly focus on one
specific thing.
Yeah, in particular, but we decided to do something little out of the ordinary and bring you guys something Pokemon related. So, if you have anything to say, I introduce my partner, my friend, Munch. Take it away, Munch.
It's Corey.
Yes.
In this video, as Preston said, we're doing our favorite Pokemon of each type. So let's get into it with number 1, Grass. And here it is, number 1, our favorite Pokemon of each type, Grass. Preston, why don't you take it away?
Alright, well, my favorite grass type would be Superior. And Superior is a good grass type because, well, Superior is a Gen 5 Pokemon, and where Gen 5 was not my favorite season at all, Gen 5 or Gen 2, Gen 5 did have some good things that I really liked. There were some characters and there was some certain Pokemon, but the one Pokemon that stood out the most, besides Zebstrika, was Superior, because Superior is my favorite grass type Pokemon from Gen 5. I didn't really like the Oshawott line, and I didn't really care for the Tepig line, where I did start Tepig in my very first playthrough of Black and White and Black and White Part 2, but I did end up leaning more towards Superior. I mean, I don't really start out with grass types, but with my replaythroughs of Black and White and Black and White Part 2, I did choose Superior. Now, Superior has a lot of good aspects. It has a very good move pool. And one of the things I really like about Superior is its speed. Because in the Elite Four, it actually helped me out quite a lot and had some really good clutch kills for whenever I chose it. So, and plus its shiny form is really, really cool.
I was about to add that its shiny form is really good.
Yeah, and that's why Superior is my favorite grass type.
Now, for my favorite grass type, it is surprisingly Dhelmise. I like Dhelmise a lot because it looks like an anchor with moss growing on it. And I didn't really like a lot of Pokemon from Gen 7, to be completely honest. I didn't really enjoy the game as much as I would want. But when I seen Dhelmise, I knew I wanted him on my team. So he's by far my favorite grass type now.
Awesome. Alright, and moving on, we have
number 2.
The fire type. Yes, number 2, the fire type. Okay, so for the fire type, for my favorite fire type, I have Delphox, which whenever Gen 8 comes out, it's going to be Scorbunny and his evolutionary line, but until then, it's Delphox. So I like Delphox for a couple of reasons. The main reason was whenever the generation for Fennekin came out, and whenever they released that the very first starter for the fire line was going to be a fox looking Pokemon, I lost my ever-loving mind, because the fox is one of my favorite animals. It's like up there in the top 5 for favorite animals. Zebra's obviously the first, but still, I like fox and like fox looking Pokemon because my favorite animated movie growing up was The Fox and the Hound, and knowing that I could have a fox type Pokemon, I mean, oh my goodness, like, why would I not choose that? I mean, Froakie and Chespin was okay, but I had to choose Fennekin. And I actually think that Delphox gets a lot of hate and a lot of flack that she really doesn't need. I mean, I can understand why people would hate on her for like competitive purposes, but I like her. I mean, she's a mage, like the spellcaster kind of thing, and I think that's kind of cool. I mean, her moveset's not the best and everything, but I still like her. So yeah, that's why Delphox is my favorite fire type.
Delphox's shiny form is also pretty good though too.
Well, it's okay, but it's not the best
Yeah.
shiny type that I've seen.
Isn't Delphox also a psychic type?
Yeah, she's
So
fire
it's a bonus.
psychic. Yeah, because Finnegan, and I think breaks in the second stage.
Mhm.
I think they stay fire, but
I think they are, yeah.
but the third typing, yeah, is fire psychic, which I think is pretty cool too.
So on to my favorite fighting type, or sorry, fire type,
Yeah.
but it also is a fighting type. Is Infernape. I love Infernape. Chimchar was one of my favorite starters, and I enjoy monkeys a lot. Monferno was okay, but then when it evolved into Infernape, I'm like, okay, I love this generation now. uh, Firefighting is an okay duo typing, but when it comes to Infernape, I don't care if it's for competitive or casual. It's usually my go-to firefighting type,
Yeah.
and it's usually my go-to in all of my playthroughs.
Yeah, I really liked it in the anime, especially whenever it was finally able to control its Blaze ability, and whenever it took down Paul's Pokemon in the Pokemon League. I thought that was just pretty cool.
Say when it comes down to that, I hardly watch the anime,
Yeah, I know.
so I would have known that, but
Yeah, because,
I just like the way Infernape looks.
yeah, because whenever it was able to control its Blaze ability, whenever Ash Greninja came out, people kind of compared Ash Greninja and his Blaze ability. They kind of compared them to each other.
Right.
Because whenever he was able to activate its Blaze ability, he got incredibly stronger, kind of like Greninja whenever he was able to achieve his Ash Greninja phase.
All right. Well, I just like Infernape a lot
Yeah,
over the other two starters from this generation.
right.
But that's our fire favorite. Our favorite fire? English is hard.
Yeah, but anyway, moving on to our favorite water type. Okay, so for our water Pokemon, for my favorite water Pokemon, which little side story, this is the Pokemon for water from Gen 1 all the way to this gen. It's the first time I ever chose this kind of Pokemon for my favorite water type, and it is Primarina. Now, I say that because I usually am the kind of person that likes choosing fire types for my favorite water starter Pokemon. And Poplio, Brioon, and Primarina, that was the very first water starter Pokemon that ended up being my favorite water type Pokemon. Now, going back to like Kanto and stuff, I always chose Charizard, like growing up and everything, because my very first game that I played was Pokemon Fire Red. And I did kinda have a team, but I basically went through that whole game using just Charizard and beating basically everything. And whenever I got to the championship, or the champion in the Kanto game for Fire Red, I basically wiped out, I think it was Gary or Blue or whatever. I basically wiped out his whole team with just my Charizard. But Primarina, like I said, was the first water starter Pokemon that I ever chose and that I grew so attached to. Now back to Kanto, Blastoise is okay, like going back years and years later, but yeah, Primarina is just great. It ended up being a water fairy type, and the fairy typing is one of my top 5, I guess, favorite for typings. And yeah, I like the fact that Primarina is like this siren slash mermaid kind of thing. And yeah, I just like Primarina so much. I mean, and using her signature move, Sparkling Aria, and then using her Z move, Oceanic Operetta. I just love it so much. I mean, I love Gen 7. Like I said before, I wasn't too much of a fan of Gen 2 or Gen 5. But yeah, the Diamond and Pearl saga, the XY and XYZ saga, and the Alola region. I just love everything about the Alola region. And unlike my friend here, that gen had so much good Pokemon that I liked. And in my favorite Pokemon of each type, this video, you'll be able to see probably quite a few from that region in this countdown. But enough of my babbling, I'll toss it on to my friend over here.
Yeah, well, you like Gen 7, dislike Gen 2, but when it comes to my favorite water type Pokemon, I like Gen 2, and and I dislike Gen 7.
Yeah.
So my favorite water type is Feraligatr.
Boo!
Get out of here. Feraligatr. Oh, speaking of, side note, your favorite is Primarina, and you have a lot of Poplio toys.
Yeah.
Just decided to throw that in there.
Yeah, I do actually. Here in my apartment, my display case is full of Poplio toys, and
Just decided to throw that out.
yeah, big Poplio plushie. It's
But speaking of toys, I had a few Totodile toys growing up, and I love Johto region. And when it came down to the starters, I always picked Totodile because the rest of them didn't appeal to me until I began competitive Pokemon battling, and that's when Typhlosion came in.
right.
But when it came to Feraligatr, I always picked him when I played the Gen 2 games.
Yeah.
So I just enjoy his art. I enjoy Totodile. Especially in the anime when I actually watched it,
Yeah.
Totodile was my favorite.
Well, Gen 2 wouldn't be that big of a deal for me because I did like Typhlosion, but he's so far down on my favorite fire starter Pokemon that if he was a little bit better and up in like the top 5, then maybe I wouldn't have that big of a deal with Gen 2. And plus, Lugia is okay, but I still don't care too much for Gen 2.
Unless they do a remake, then I'll be all for it.
Right.
Wait, they did, technically. Hard Gold, Soul Silver. I mean, a new gen remake.
Yeah, like what they did for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
And Let's Go.
Yeah.
If they make a Let's Go Johto, I'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
I will be okay with that.
Yeah, but I still want my Gen 4 remake. Where are you?
It'll be coming, I'm gonna call it now, next year.
But I don't want to wait that long. 2019 just got here.
Alright. So that's our favorite water Pokemon
Yep.
of all time.
Yeah, and coming up here in a couple seconds, our favorite normal type. Okay, so the normal typing. I actually have, funny story, a full team of 6 favorite normal types that I like, besides like Komala, Lopunny, and Eevee. But my favorite normal type of all would have to be Porygon.
This actually surprised me when he told me.
Yeah. Well, I do like Porygon, but not its other, like...
Two forms?
Yeah, its other forms. The funny story, which I think I told you about this whenever you were asking me why I did like Porygon. Growing up, you see, I liked Pokemon basically ever since I was a little teeny tiny little tot.
I think all of us did.
Yeah, and some of my favorite Pokemon was Pikachu, Charmander, Mewtwo, Nidoqueen, and Porygon. I don't really have a out of this world kind of explanation why I like Porygon. I mostly like it just for like its color scheme and its design and the kind of toys that I had with it. Now we did mention Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee a couple seconds ago. In the game, I had no freaking idea Porygon was that big, and in the
Yeah, that surprised me.
Yeah, and in the anime, I didn't really think he was going to be that big either. And speaking of the anime, I thought it was kind of stupid why they took the Porygon episode down for the OG season. But yeah, I just really like Porygon. I've never actually used Porygon. I mean, there's been some instance where in the game I kind of had to do some stuff with it, but I never went out of my way to actually catch one and like raise him up and everything to like level 100 or whatever. I just really like him. His move pool, like, it's not the best. Its other two evolutions, their move pool's way better. But
especially Porygon Z.
Yeah, but this Porygon, I just really like it. And I found out a few months ago that he was kind of like known as like looking kind of like a duck, which I just thought he was some kind of like blocky kind of Pokemon. But yeah, I just really like Porygon, and it's the sounds it makes. I kind of like that too. But yeah, sorry I couldn't give you guys a better explanation. But it was just one of those cases to where it was like a childhood kind of attachment.
Yeah.
And that's why Porygon's my favorite normal type.
It's your favorite normal type, but you don't know why it's your favorite normal type. It just happened. It's basically.
Yeah, it's just one of those cases where it just is.
Yeah. There's no explaining it.
Yeah.
Now my favorite normal type is Drumpa.
Oh my goodness, it's Snoop Dogg!
The reason for it is because when I first seen it during the Pokemon Sun and Moon reveal trailers,
yeah,
it popped up. I'm like, holy crap, Falcor! I'm like, yes, never ending story. I actually named it Falcor in the game when I caught one.
Yeah.
And then I caught another one and I named it Snoop Dogg, but I forgot to save.
Yeah.
And that made me mad. But
you lost your Snoop.
So I'm calling him Snoop Falky Falk. or some other name I can't think of right now.
Some other combination of Snoop Dogg and Falcor.
He just looks like Snoop Dogg and Falcor
put together.
Yeah.
So if Snoop Dogg's going to be a Pokemon, he's going to be a Dragon type.
Right.
Well, actually,
Falcor is Dragon.
Yeah, Drumpa is actually normal and Dragon, but
yeah. So he's pretty much weak to a lot of stuff, isn't he?
Well, since he's Dragon, he's weak to Steel, Fairy, and since he's part normal, he's really weak to fighting.
Yeah.
So.
But I really enjoy how he looks. I knew I wanted him on my team when I played Sun and Moon, even though I didn't play Ultra Sun and Moon yet.
I keep telling you, you need to get on the ball and do something,
but I got my Switch and I can't really play my DS anymore. It's just a weird feeling for me.
Yeah.
But I enjoy how he looks. I like how he looks in the video game. I wonder what he's gonna look like in the new game.
Yeah. And in the anime, Drumpa, I think they only did about maybe 1 or 2 episodes around him. And he kind of freaked me out in the anime because I think his Pokedex description says that he really enjoys like children or whatever. And in the anime, that kind of gave me a weird a weird vibe. So
you stay away from my hash. But anyway,
yeah.
On to the next, electric.
Let's do it. Now, when it comes to the electric typing, my choice is, well, like you said, in between these tapings, it was kind of new and recent.
Right.
So my original choice for electric was Zebstrika, or like Raichu, or the Alolan Raichu. But whenever this Pokemon was first revealed, however...
You fell in love with it.
Yeah, however far back that was, yeah, like you just said, I immediately fell in love with it. A lot of people thought it was going to be electric fighting because of its moves that it could learn, but then we all was told that it was just going to be pure electric, and that Pokemon is Zeraora. And yeah, I immediately fell in love with this guy. I like basically everything about it. Its color scheme, the way it. I kind of thought that because Lucario, his shiny form, kind of reminds me of Zeraora, and I'll get to Lucario here in a little while.
It does remind me of that too. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I like everything about Zeraora, and its move pool, which I think I mentioned that a little bit ago. Its move pool is really good because its special move, Plasma Fist, is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
It can learn like close combat. It can learn Iron Tail.
I hated fighting it.
Yeah, and I really needed. Between me and my friend here, I really needed a good electric type because, as I said before, it was going to be Zebstrika, but it's just not that good at all.
It's not that good.
And my love for Raichu and Alolan Raichu was kind of basically around the same time as Zeraora, but I chose him instead because my friend here really likes to use freaking Gyarados, and I really needed a good freaking electric.
I love my Gyarados.
And I really needed a good electric type for that, but that's a completely different story. But yeah, and there was a movie that just recently came out. It has something to do with Lugia and the Wind Festival, which you guys watching this might know what I'm talking about. But they showed Zeraora in that movie. And here recently in the Sun and Moon anime, I think it's just in Japan right now, but there was an episode based on this guy that showed up, and he had a Zeraora. In the most recent Sun and Moon episodes, which is called Sun and Moon Ultra Adventures, Ash and the dude that has his Zeraora, they both use the electric Z move to help put a Ultra Beast back into the Ultra Wormhole to send it back to its dimension.
Wasn't that the one with the mouse stomach?
Yeah, that was a Guzzlord.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty freaking cool too. And I'm trying to keep up to date on the Sun and Moon episodes. So I hope to see these episodes with Zeraora in it very soon. But yeah, like I said, I just love everything about Zeraora. Like I said, its color scheme, how it looks a little bit like Lucario's shiny form, its move pool, everything about it is just freaking amazing. So
when I first seen Zeraora, my first thought was, it's just an electric Lucario. But what I don't like is you have two of them.
Yeah, once I was able to...
You have two of them.
I do, yeah. Yeah, once I was able to get Zeraora, I kind of have a friend that can give me Pokemon, like any kind of Pokemon I want, and Pokemon, he can give me them early. So I really didn't feel like waiting for the official release.
One of them was Japan edition.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't feel like waiting for the official release here in the United States. So I talked to a friend of mine, and he was able to work some stuff out, and I was able to get it early. So yeah, that made me really, really happy because his speed is just freaking ridiculous.
Isn't it higher than Lucario's?
Well, yeah, I think as of right now, Zeraora's speed is unmatched. There's no other Pokemon that I know of as of right now that is faster than Zeraora. So,
To be fair, though, he is legendary.
yeah.
But enough of Zeraora. On to my favorite electric type Pokemon of all time, Jolteon. I love me some Jolteon.
Yeah, I thought wasn't it originally Zapdos?
It originally was Zapdos, but I kept thinking about it, and I really enjoy what Jolteon looks like. I enjoy him in battle. I enjoy his "Let's Go" animation when he walks behind you.
Yeah.
I just enjoy Jolteon a lot. He is on my competitive team most of the time. He was in my party in Let's Go when I got the Thunderstone and I caught an Eevee. I immediately evolved him into a Jolteon. I just really enjoy Jolteon for some reason.
Yeah, you seem to really like shift towards Pokemon that have
Right.
like a yellow black or black red kind of color scheme
Right.
that I've noticed.
Jolteon is what Porygon is for you. I enjoy it, but I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Zapdos, he's just a great competitive Pokemon. That's pretty much it. Honestly.
Oh, okay.
He's a competitive Pokemon. But Jolteon, I just don't know why I like him, but I just enjoy him.
Yeah, it just is.
Yeah.
Alright, well, if you don't got nothing else to say, time to move
On
on
to the
to
next.
our...
Psychic.
Yes, psychic types. Let's do it. So when it comes to the psychic typing, whenever I was making a list, like...
And checking the twice.
Very funny. When it came to like more than just one of my favorite psychic types, because I wanted to do a list of more than just one, like 5 or 10 or whatever, it was kind of difficult for me to pick more than just one, so I had to go to like Bulbapedia and go through like every freaking psychic type. Now, I did know that I liked Mewtwo and Alakazam.
I mean, who doesn't like Mewtwo, right?
Right, because Mewtwo was like Porygon, one of my favorite childhood Pokemon. But I knew above all of them, because I have like 6 favorite psychic types, I knew there was one that like was at the very top, that rose above them all. Now, for those of you listening, yes, this is a psychic type, but some of you may know it as a normal type. And those of you that know your Pokemon knowledge will know both of its typings, normal and psychic. And it's Meloetta. Now, there's some stuff that I do gotta leave out for, like, if there's, like, children watching.
It gets rated R really fast.
Well, not really that bad, but...
I don't know, man. Nobody else has been around you like I have.
Right, yeah. But Meloetta is a really good normal psychic type. I really did enjoy her in the movies that she appeared in. I'm not that big of a fan of her other kind of form, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's this one or the other one. It's like called a Parfume form.
I think that's her regular form.
Yeah. Well, I prefer this one more. I mean, because I guess I can say this, but she's just a real cute Pokemon. And she has a very wide a range of move pools.
I was gonna say hips, but yeah.
No, not that. But
Rated R, kids, rated R.
Yeah, like I said, she can learn a wide variety of moves, and I've never really used her in play just like Porygon, but I mostly like her just for the aesthetic aspect. I mean, she's just a real cute Pokemon. I mean, that's not really a good enough of a reason to make her number one whenever I have on my list Mewtwo and Alakazam. But I mean, I'm a guy, so if there's a list of psychic types and I find one that's cute, I am gonna put you above all the other ones. I mean, I'm just saying. So
all I have to say is GG Pokemon Company. GG.
Well, I mean, come on. There's other guys out there that'll like Pokemon for their looks also. I mean, that's kind of petty.
A little too much.
And, I mean, that's kind of petty for some people are going to think that's kind of petty.
You said that like 5 times.
Yeah. In the Black and White anime, they did have a couple episodes where Meloetta was in the anime, and she actually has a really beautiful singing voice, which is kind of like her design and everything. But
yeah.
And I do have Meloetta, I think, in one of my Pokemon games, unless I restarted it, which I'm prone to doing. Which in that case, and the Pokemon game I'm currently playing, not Let's Go Eevee, but Ultra Moon. If she's not in there, I've got to talk to my guy.
Not necessarily, because I have multiple Meloettas. I'll just give you one.
We'll have to work on that later on.
Right.
But I do remember playing her in the game for a little bit. But she's just one where I prefer to like have her and use other psychic types. It's kind of weird, but I hope some of you get the point.
She's not that good in battle, to be completely honest with you.
Well, I don't remember people going around saying that they got a really good competitive Meloetta.
Right.
Which is kind of sad because I have a friend that his favorite normal type is Castform. And Castform, it's like...
It's bad.
Yeah. Even the Pokemon Company talks down about Castform. I mean, because across the board, its stats are freaking horrible.
Very horrible.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Castform is an adorable Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
But its stats and in battle, it's
yeah, it's ridiculous how bad it is.
It's so bad.
But anyway, yeah. I could talk a little bit more about why I like Meloetta, but I'll turn it over to my friend.
My favorite psychic Pokemon of all time, mainly because it's a goofy Pokemon and I'm a goofy Pokemon. Wait. No, but seriously though, it's a very goofy Pokemon and I like it in the anime a lot. And I can do its voice. And its pre-evolution. And that is... Wobbuffet!
Oh my god. Yeah, for those of you listening, this was like recent news to me. Unless I just didn't pay attention in the past. But,
you probably didn't pay attention.
But oh my goodness, Wobbuffet, are you kidding me?
It's Wobbuffet! It annoys the crap out of Jesse and James in the anime.
Yeah.
It's not very good in battle, from my knowledge. But I just enjoy what it looks like, especially in that picture that I'm gonna put up right now. It's like, Wobbuffet.
Yeah.
But, it's Wobbuffet. What else can I say? I like Why Not also.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
And then it evolves into this thing.
Well, Jesse and James in the anime, yeah, it does kind of annoy them a little bit. But I think it's kind of sad because the only reason why I think that they even keep Wobbuffet around for all these years was mostly because of its counter ability. Like most of the time whenever they're stealing Ash's Pikachu or stealing some other people's Pokemon,
Yeah.
and Ash and the gang will like launch attacks at Jesse and James when they're in their Meowth balloon Jesse will like send Wobbuffet out and use his counter ability to redirect the attacks right back at Ash and the gang. So it's kind of sad that they mostly keep it around just for that.
It comes in handy.
Yeah.
I do like Wobbuffet. I love Wobbuffet.
Yeah, I mean, real goofy, derpy Pokemon, that's a pretty good reason to like a lot of them, just because they're real silly looking, or like they're like the comic relief Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah.
Wobbuffet's my spirit animal.
Oh, I thought it was Munchlax or Snorlax.
Well, Munchlax I do like. I do like Munchlax.
Yeah.
Munchlax and Wobbuffet, and why not?
Yeah.
The Three Stooges right there. But that's our favorite psychic Pokemon. Now next, fighting.
I can't wait! Fighting type. So, my fighting type, I didn't even have to do like any kind of research or anything like that, because I've had this Pokemon as my favorite fighting type for years and years and years on end. Now, when it came to making a list of more than just one my favorite fighting type, that took, well, a little bit of time, but not too much. Now, this Pokemon, not only is he my favorite fighting type, but he's my favorite Pokemon out of every Pokemon. I like his normal form, his whole evolutionary line, and even his Mega form. And that is Lucario. Now, funny story, when it came to me actually finding out that I did like Lucario, I think it was just one of those situations to where it just happened randomly. I'm pretty sure I was watching an episode of Pokemon and I like seen him, or I seen a picture of him somewhere, and it was like a voice called out to me and I immediately like latched onto him. Now, I don't know if it's kind of like that for other certain people, where their favorite Pokemon just, it was like automatically there when they first seen the Pokemon. Now, over the years, my love for Lucario has grown and grown, and around the time whenever I found out that Lucario, among other Pokemon, like Charizard, but when I found out that he was getting a Mega Evolution, it just made me love him even more. And the fact that Lucario is in Smash games, right?
He's Smash Brothers, I think.
Yeah. And having him in like Smash games.
He's also in Pokémon.
Yeah. I mean, because I've watched Pokemon videos, and there's been people talking that Lucario, like his popularity is up there with like Pikachu, Charizard, and Mewtwo. So yeah, I like everything about Lucario. I like his the way he looks. I like the fact that he's based on a jackal, which I actually found that out years later after I liked him, which was kind of funny.
Makes me want to name my Lucario Anubis.
Yeah, because there's that stuff also where he kind of looks like the Anubis, like
God.
Yeah. I like.
God of the dead.
Yeah.
Egyptian God of the dead.
Yeah. I like Lucario so much where I even go out of my way sometimes when I'm inspired to even draw him. And every single time I play a Pokemon game, whether it's a new game that just recently came out, or if I'm restarting a gen where I can get myself a Riolu, I always have to have him on my team. Now, in the anime, I love how they give him, like, where they give him time to go out and be in episodes. And my favorite Pokemon movie is even Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. I just hate the fact that near the end of the movie,
Spoilers.
spoiler warning is activated. for people that haven't seen it, I hate the fact that at the end of the episode, Lucario ends up dying and going and being with Sir Aaron in the afterlife. I cried like a freaking baby the first time I seen that movie and that happened. I did. I cried like a little bitty girl.
Yeah, you can't say that.
But yeah, back to the anime. In the XY and XYZ saga, I like how there was a gym leader, which there's actually been a couple of gym leaders, like fighting type gym leaders that have Lucario on their team, and I think that's just awesome. But in the XYZ saga, I like how the gym leader Karina had a Lucario, and Ash, one of his Pokemon, had I can't remember which one it is right now, and that's irritating me. But Ash's Pokemon and Lucario fought, and I thought that was just awesome because Karina was trying to master Mega Evolution around that time. And there was also, either in that episode or an episode before or after this one, where Lucario and Blaziken was actually fighting each other. And I thought that was just freaking awesome. I like his move set where he can learn like ground type moves. He can learn dragon type moves.
Which surprised me.
Yeah, because the dragon type move I like to use, which I think this might be the only one, is Dragon Pulse.
Yeah.
So when I have Lucario on my team and I go and battle like a gym leader or the Elite Four, I had to have Dragon Pulse on my Lucario for his moveset and use it against a dragon type. Just so freaking awesome. Oh, my bad. That probably took a while. Your turn.
Take your time, take your time. My favorite fighting type Pokemon of all time is Mega Blaziken. When I first seen that Mega Blaziken was gonna come out in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire,
yeah, I think.
I wanted to get him immediately, so that's why I got a Torchic as my first starter in that game. And I still have him, by the way.
Yeah.
Still have him. He's really fast, especially when he has speed boost, I believe.
Oh yeah, I like that speed boost ability.
Yeah, speed boost on Blaziken is ridiculous. His moveset really good in competitive Pokemon. I like the way he looks also. What I don't like, there's one thing I don't like about him though, is his stance, where he lifts up his one leg and just stays there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, put it down, you're fighting. But Blaziken, Mega Blaziken, Torchic was my go-to in Gen 3?
Yeah, it's Gen 3.
Gen 3. The other two starters were okay, but Torchic, I just enjoyed what he was and then what he became. So,
yeah.
See, I'm not like Preston. I don't talk for hours about this.
Yeah, Blaziken is okay. I mean, I like Blaziken also. He's just not one of my favorite fighting or fire types. Now, when I do go and I play through Gen 3 and then the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire games, I pick Torchic also because I like the fact that there's Mega Blaziken and the speed boost ability. Mega Blaziken is just...
Mudkip is okay, and Trico is okay, but he gets better once he evolves into Sceptile.
Yeah.
Trico is Gen 3, right?
Trico?
I think so. Anyway. But yeah, Blaziken was one of my go-to starters. So that's actually when I got into competitive battling, was Gen 3, which was a fun time.
Yeah, I'm actually going through Gen 3 right now. I'm watching every single episode of the Gen 3 saga, and then I'm going to be going on to the Diamond and Pearl saga. I'm making it my mission to watch every single Pokemon episode.
And now on to our favorite rock type Pokemon.
It's going to rock.
Wow.
Okay, so rock. We're going to rock out with this one because... I'm sorry, that was really, really bad. But anyway,
Horrible.
So I got to do a little bit of backpedaling again. So when it came to finding a favorite rock type Pokemon, like whenever I was making a list of like top 5 or top 10 favorite rock Pokemon.
He also checked it twice.
Yeah. Wait, did we make that reference before? Anyway,
I don't know.
I never had a favorite rock type for the longest time. Now, ground on the other hand, that's a different story.
That was easy. Ground was easy
Yeah,
to pick,
but when it
rock
came,
was hard for me and him.
yeah.
No pun intended.
So when it came to a favorite rock type Pokemon, I never had one until the Sun and Moon saga, especially the game, because, like I said, I never had one. But whenever this kind of Pokemon came along, since it has 3 forms, both of them that was originally announced, I didn't like until the Ultra Sun and Moon saga, whenever this Pokemon was finally released for those 2 type of games, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And that Pokemon is Dusk Form Lycanroc.
And I'm just going to point this out right now. My favorite is Midnight Form Lycanroc. It's the same Pokemon, so might as well put it together.
Right. So, like I said, I never had a favorite rock type Pokemon until I was introduced to Dusk Form Lycanroc.
Yeah.
Now, I don't really care for the other Lycanroc forms, but this one, and I don't really know why, but it just screamed out to me like, hey Preston, pick me, I'm going to do a lot of good stuff for you. Now, like I said, I had to do a lot of backpedaling for the rock type, because for when it came to Dusk Form Lycanroc, back in Fire Red, like I said, with Charizard, I did have a team, but he was basically the Pokemon that I used to complete the whole game. Now, when it came to whenever I got Ultra Moon, it was the same thing for Dusk Form Lycanroc. I did have a team and everything, because I obviously had my Primarina on my team, but whenever I was able to use Dusk Form Lycanroc, I basically used him to complete the entire freaking game, especially the after the credit gameplay that you had to do for the Rainbow Rocket arc. My Dusk Form Lycanroc, which I named Rusty, which, funny, it was because Rust is like an orange color, and
yeah.
Dusk Form Lycanroc is orange, so I named him Rusty. So Rusty helped me through the whole Rainbow Rocket arc. He was so freaking OP because I had him at such a high level, and a lot of the Pokemon you battled against, Rusty was so freaking good against him, with especially the moveset that I gave him. So, he is just so freaking cool. And I like the fact, which me and my friend was talking about this in the middle of taping, my favorite rock type, Dusk Form Lycanroc, and the Midnight Form Lycanroc, currently in the anime, Ash has Dusk Form, and Ash's rival Gladion has Midnight Form Lycanroc. So I told him, I said, it was kind of funny that me and you both have these, and they're both currently being used in the anime.
Right.
So it was just so cool. Like I said, Rusty was just so broken, and the more I used him, I just grew more and more attached to him. Now, I don't like the fact that I had to do like the whole wait until a certain time of the day and then he'll evolve.
Yeah.
That was kind of a pain, because
basically like Umbreon and Espeon.
Yeah, because I had to wake up so early in the morning just to evolve them. I think I had to wake up at like 5 in the morning and then level him up, and then my Rusty evolved into this form right here. That was such a pain. Because I had Ultra Moon. If I had Ultra Sun, I would have had to wait until 5 in the evening and then evolve them. But yeah, it was just so cool. Okay, your turn.
Well, when it comes to Midnight Form Lycanroc, you could have only got him on Pokemon Moon. So I had to play my Pokemon Sun game halfway through it in order to trade to you so I can get him for my team.
Yeah.
And that actually made me mad because I don't like Lycanroc's
midday form.
Midday form. His dusk form looks cool, but I enjoy the look of Lycanroc's midnight form a whole lot better because I like all that dark color stuff.
Yeah.
And I just like the way he looks. I like his red eyes. I like the way he stands. He's basically a werewolf, but in Pokemon form. That's why it's called Lycanroc.
Right.
Because he's a wolf. When he was first revealed, I knew I wanted him on my team. Even though I would have had like a ton of dark Pokemon on the team. But he only helped me through a couple of gyms, and then I ended up taking him out of my team and putting a Delmise in. But I just like the way he looks. I like Lycans, werewolves, and I like all that dark aspect stuff, so he's my favorite rock type Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just too bad that midday and midnight Lycanroc, they're kind of a glass cannon. They can hit hard, but they can't really take hits very well.
Yeah, they're not very defensive.
Yeah. But whenever they went out and they did a dusk form dusk form Lycanroc, they kind of upped his stats like more than midday and midnight Lycanroc.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why I like my favorite rock type more, because I tried using the midnight and the midday Lycanroc, but as I said, they're basically glass cannons, kind of like Blacephalon.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What they should have done since they released a dusk form, they should have released a dawn form as well. Because that would have made so much sense. Because they have midday, midnight, dusk, and then they should have had dawn.
Yeah.
Which there are some fan arts out there of dawn form. That I would have liked to see.
Yeah.
They can't do it now though, because they're on to Gen 8 now.
Right.
So, only time will tell though.
Yep. And with that being said, time to move on to our favorite ground type. Alright, so the ground typing, for me, was actually a little bit difficult because I have more than one favorite ground type Pokemon, but I'll get into that later. And to make one of my very many long stories short, me and my friend here actually like the same ground type.
We like the exact same ground type.
Now, to basically speed it up a little bit, both mine and my friend's favorite ground type is Sandslash. And as I said, I'll have a tie for my top favorite ground type. It's actually a tie between Sandslash and Marowak, but whenever I was doing some thinking a few months ago, I realized that I like Sandslash just a teeny tiny bit more than Marowak.
Yeah.
so I decided to make him my favorite ground type instead. Now, as I've said many times already, when I was making these lists of top 10 or top 5 favorite Pokemon of each type, I actually had to do a little bit of digging because for a long time I didn't really have a favorite ground type until I started making these lists, which that's going to be the excuse for about maybe 2 or 3 more of these. But
You can't use the same excuse.
well, what can I say? So, for me, for my reasons why for liking Sandslash, it's basically because of the design aspect. I like that it's based off of a what is he based off of?
He's based on a armadillo.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
I believe an armadillo. Yeah.
Yeah, either that or a hedgehog, but I think it's more of a.
I think it's an armadillo. I know it's not a porcupine.
But yeah, I like the fact of the reason that he's based off that animal. And actually, I think I was playing what was it? I was playing Sapphire on my friend's mini. It was either I think it was the SNES, and whenever I was going around and I came.
By the way, I hacked my SNES. That's why you can play it.
Whenever I was going around and I was playing Sapphire and I ran into Sandshrew and Sandslash, their sprite in that game
it's adorable.
It is! It's so freaking adorable! And that actually helped me, which by the way, that happened just a couple of weeks ago. It helped me like Sandshrew and Sandslash even more. And to be honest, when it came to my list, Sandslash was actually, in my opinion, a lot better than some of my other ground types because, as I said, I also have Marowak, and then there's Seismitoad, Golem, and Gliscor. So Sandslash, in my opinion, is like I wouldn't say stronger, but he's just way better than all the other ground types. But I do like all my other choices for ground.
Yeah.
Sandslash is just up there way higher, and me liking it way better than all the other ones. Now, when it came to his move pool, I mean, you slap Slash, Gyro Ball, and Earthquake on him, and oh my goodness.
When you use Earthquake, I can do some damage.
Yeah.
If you level him up right.
Yeah. Now his Alolan form, on the other hand,
his Alolan form is awesome.
Yeah, because he gets ice and steel typing.
Yeah.
And that's just freaking awesome.
His ice spikes are just so awesome.
Right.
He used to be my favorite ice type as well. But then I looked through it again and I'm like, I like him, but there's another one I like more.
Right. So anyway.
The reason why I like Sandslash is because it's more of a sentimental value. Because he was actually the first Pokemon I liked as a kid. Surprisingly, I don't think I told you that before. But he's actually one of the first toys I got too. I just liked the way he looked. I didn't like Sandshrew as much then as I do now. But when it comes to Sandslash, it's more of a sentimental value. So, yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know that. I'm surprised I didn't tell you that before.
Yeah, and I'm sitting over here and I'm trying to process that whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
I like Pikachu, but to me, he was more overrated. And then I picked Sandslash because of the toy I had.
Yeah.
It also came with a Pokeball, and I also had Ash, like the figure of Ash.
Yeah.
And Misty.
Yeah, that's weird. Your very first Pokemon toy was a Sandslash.
Yeah.
And you really liked Sandslash, but when it came to me, my very first Pokemon toy was a Charmander, and I hate the Charmander line.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, yeah, I do, and don't at me, people watching this video. Don't at me. I can't help it. My friend said Pikachu was overrated.
He is overrated.
I'm sorry. I think Charmander in the Charizard line is overrated.
I think Raichu is better than Pikachu.
Raichu is better than Pikachu.
Yeah.
That's why
I have a shiny Raichu.
Yeah, that's why I have Raichu in my favorite electric type line and not Pikachu.
He's like my fourth favorite, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I mean, Pikachu is okay as the face of Pokemon.
Don't hate us. Don't.
Yeah. Pikachu is okay for the face of Pokemon because...
Yeah. It wasn't supposed to be Pikachu, though. So.
Yeah, I know. They had to choose a Pokemon that was gender neutral, that could appeal to both boys and girls. But I just don't like Pikachu because it's the same thing with Charizard and Mewtwo, but I'm going to love Mewtwo forever. They just get way too much... They get way too much, like... appeal and
praise.
Yeah, basically, that's just why.
Praise too much.
Yeah.
In my opinion, anyway.
Yeah. But
that was a short mini rant for you. You're welcome.
But if there's nothing else to be said, time to move on to flying.
Time to soar.
I'll shoot you later for that.
Okay.
Okay, so flying types. This is the same excuse that I've had for a while about me not really having a favorite flying type until here recently with the list and everything. And actually, my original favorite flying type was supposed to be Pidgeot, but I actually recently changed that because I was going through Bulbapedia one day, and I was going through all the flying type Pokemon and everything, and I kind of struggled picking this Pokemon because of how much I don't care for Gen 2, which should probably give you guys a kind of a rough idea as to who the flying type is. But because my favorite gen is, and I think I've said this already, Gen 4, Gen 6, and 7. So if it wasn't going to be Pidgeot, it would have been something like Talonflame or Staraptor, because those flying types are really good too, especially in competitive play, since Talonflame is flying and fire, and Staraptor is flying and fighting. I think he's part fighting.
Is he part fighting?
Well, he can learn close combat. But anyway, my favorite flying type, after I went through the whole list and everything, my flying type Pokemon is Lugia. And like I said, I don't really give Gen 2 a lot of credit, but
yeah, you really don't. That's like your least favorite generation.
But I can say that I do care for that Gen 2 a little bit more than Gen 5, because if it wasn't for Trip, Zebstrika, and Superior,
Gen 5 would be way down.
Then I would absolutely have no love for Gen 5 whatsoever, because I hate that gen so much.
That's actually my second least favorite season or generation.
Yeah, which is why I gotta give a teeny tiny bit of love to Gen 2, because I mean they have Typhlosion and they have Lugia, and if I could look at a Pokedex or something like that, I'm pretty sure I could find other Pokemon from Gen 2 that I kind of have a tiny bit of love for.
Uh-oh.
I don't really care for Ho-Oh. Anyway, so because of the fact that Lugia is my favorite flying type, as I said, there's other flying types that I could have chose, but the reason why I chose Lugia is because, well, I like his design aspect, and the movie that he was in, I can't think of the name right now, but it was Lugia, and it had the other birds, Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno. He was in that movie, and I'm sorry, I can't think of the name right now. It's escaping me. But that movie actually helped me like Lugia quite a lot. And his moveset is okay.
Yeah, his shiny is fantastic,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I have a friend called Jubilee, and she likes his shiny form also. But yeah, I don't really have a good reason why I chose Lugia, because like I said, I could have chose Pidgeot, I could have chose Talonflame and Staraptor, but I think the main reason why I chose Lugia was because of the fact that I don't like Gen 2, I needed to try to find something good from that generation, and I went and I chose Lugia to try to help me like that gen a little bit more. So, I mean, because if you have other Pokemon that you like, but you basically want to go out of your way to give another Pokemon a chance in the hopes of helping that Pokemon, in the hopes of having that Pokemon help you like something, then I guess I'm all for that, which is why I chose Lugia to help me like Gen 2 a little bit more. So that's why.
Not to burst your bubble, but I didn't understand any of that last part, but do not repeat it. But anyway, my favorite flying type was a little surprising to me because I was going to choose Talonflame or Staraptor. Or I was going to choose Zapdos as well. But I like this one's design a little bit more than I do the others. And that is Noivern. I like Noivern because he's a bat. I like his color scheme a lot. And he has freaking speakers for ears.
Yeah.
I just like it. I don't know why, but I like it.
Noivern's okay. I mean, here recently in the anime, in the Pokemon Ultra Adventures anime for Sun and Moon, I actually learned here recently because in the anime, Ash and his friends have a thing that they do with Professor Kukui, known as Ash and his friends being called the Ultra Guardians, where they literally go down underneath the Pokemon school and they suit up and all of them get on a flying type that kind of goes with the writer's personality and everything. And here recently, I seen an episode where Gladion, his go-to flying type for being a Ultra Guardian to go out and battle the Ultra Beast and send them back to Ultra Space, Gladion's was this Pokemon, Noivern. And I thought that was pretty cool because it kind of goes with Gladion's personality, where he's kind of like the dark, mysterious type, which Noivern kind of helps resemble Gladion's personality in that aspect, because Ash's is Garchomp, and if people paid attention to the Pokemon anime back a couple of years ago, Ash kind of had a episode with a Garchomp, and I think that Ash has the first stage of Noivern. At least I think he did.
Noibat?
Yeah, he did. He had a Noibat.
Yeah.
And I think that he had a Noivern in the XY and XYZ anime, so which is pretty cool. So
You're talking about the anime a lot in this video, aren't you? I don't watch the anime, so Preston is the only one to go to for that stuff. I only watched up to Diamond and Pearl. I barely watched Sapphire, Ruby and Sapphire. So, but anyway, Noivern, I don't have a reasoning. I just like its design. So, that's basically it.
Well, that's something.
Next, bug type.
Okay, so bug type. Now, my relationship with the bug type, I actually, unlike the other ones, I knew who my favorite bug type was going to be. And whenever I figured out that this buddy of mine right here had a Mega Evolution, I liked it a whole lot more. I'm just kind of sad that, just like the Lycanroc Pokemon, I'm kind of upset that he's still, even with a Mega Evolution, at least to my knowledge, still not really strong. But it's Beedrill.
Beedrill's Mega is pretty strong in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, whenever I was making the list, I had to go out of my way to find more bug Pokemon that I like, but I actually knew beforehand that I liked Beedrill. And in the anime, I'm kind of upset that he's kind of portrayed as kind of like a mean, evil kind of Pokemon, especially in the OG season, because there was episodes of Beedrill like going out of their way to chase down people and chase down Ash and try to like sting him and attack him and everything. But I just really like Beedrill. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan in real life of bees because they creep the holy heck out of me and and they scared the bejesus out of me. But I just really like Beedrill, and I really like his Mega Evolution.
Beedrill, I think, was one of my first shinies that I caught in Let's Go.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Well, I'm not sure who my very first shiny was, but I just really like Beedrill.
Yeah.
His move pool's not the best, but I mean...
But it's not the worst either.
Yeah, but I mean, U-turn Mega Beedrill is okay. Like my friend, on many of his, I don't really have a lot to say on Beedrill, except for the fact that I just really like it, and I really like his Mega Evolution.
Yeah.
And this video is going on way too long right now, so I'll pass it on to you.
My favorite bug type also has a Mega Evolution, and I've liked him for a long time, and that's Heracross. I have a competitive Heracross as well. Not Mega, but regular Heracross. Mega Heracross is not my favorite Mega of all time, but it's not my least favorite either. I don't know if I have a least favorite Mega that I know of, but when it comes down to Heracross, his moves are decent, and like Preston said, U-turn on bug types is really good. I like him in the anime as well, because Ash had him.
Yeah, Ash had a Heracross.
In the anime, he's huge, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And he can fly too, so that's pretty cool. And he's a beetle, and I like horn beetles. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about if having a least favorite Mega Evolution.
Yeah.
Mine would have to be Mega Audino.
Yeah, mine's probably Mega Audino.
Or Audino, however you want to pronounce it, because I just don't like Audino. I didn't think that she needed a Mega Evolution.
Yeah, I think a lot more Pokemon deserved Megas. Audino didn't, but that's a completely different video.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Gen 3 and Gen 4 starters need Mega Evolutions.
Yeah, every starter I think should get a Mega Evolution at some point.
Yeah. A lot of people think Flygon needs a Mega Evolution.
I think so.
Yeah.
Rapidash.
Oh gosh.
Rapidash needs one.
That's the one Pokemon that I really want to have a.
We're getting off topic. That's a new video.
My bad.
But anyway, next up, Poison type.
Alright, this is a real sticky situation because we're talking about the Poison type now. Now, my relationship with the Poison type is about the same as it was for Porygon, the normal type, because this...
I actually had trouble with this one.
Yeah.
There's not many Poison types that I actually enjoy.
Yeah. Well, just like Porygon, the Pokemon I chose for the Poison type, I like basically since childhood. Now, I said before how I had a big relationship with like Charmander as a childhood, but now I know better. And then there was Mewtwo.
Now you know better.
Yeah. And then there was...
Don't say that to me.
Yeah, and then there was Mewtwo, there was Pikachu, and well, there was also this Pokemon that I liked from childhood also, and that's Nidoqueen, or should I say Nidoqueen? Yeah,
that one's to you, Austin John plays.
Yeah, you can kill me later for that. But yeah, Nidoqueen is basically a childhood, a bond I had with her since childhood, because some of the toys that I had, one of them was Nidoqueen, and I would like dress up in my Ash Ketchum costume. I would put on my hat, my jacket, my gloves. I would go out into my front yard and like play with my toys and throw.
Such a nerd.
And throw my Pokeball and everything, and yeah, it was basically because of that. And growing up years later and actually getting into the Pokemon video games, I didn't really play with a Nidoqueen growing up until maybe a couple of years ago, whenever I actually tried, trying more in the video games and using my knowledge of competitive play. I would go out of my way, and like the Gen 1 games, and I would go out of my way to get a Nidoqueen and put really good moves on her and everything. Dude,
you actually did that for Let's Go too, didn't you?
Well, I didn't choose a Nidoqueen, I chose a Nidoking.
Yeah.
But, tomato.
They're basically the same.
Yeah. Because Nidoqueen is really good with her poison and her ground typing.
Yeah.
Freaking Earthquake, Poison Jab, Mega Punch, or whatever, Hyper Beam. She's just really good. I like her color scheme and everything. And
her shiny is just the opposite color of Nidoking.
Yeah, exactly. And I really like the fact that whenever you go in the video game and you face Giovanni, he has both a Nidoqueen and a Nidoking. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, that's basically my reason, because of like
Not much to it.
Yeah, because of a bond I had with her because of my childhood.
Yeah.
So
she's more defensive and Nidoking's more of an attacker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
See, when it came to the poison type, there wasn't a lot of Pokemon that I enjoyed using or that I actually liked that were poison types. Nidoking, maybe, but that's a big maybe.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Because like whenever we were doing the rock type and the ground type, we basically chose the same Pokemon, even though you chose Midnight and I chose Dusk, Light, and Rock, and we both chose Sand Slash the ground. It would have been funny if I chose Nidoqueen and you chose Nidoking. That would have been kind of funny.
But for my poison type that I like, it is Toxicroak. I do like Krogunk as well because of the anime, obviously. Because he kept poison jabbing Brock.
Oh yeah, I
It was like
remember
the
that.
best part of that.
Yeah, whenever Brock
Yeah.
would like meet a cute girl and
Usually Nurse Joy or Nurse Jenny.
yeah, or Officer Jenny, yeah.
Officer Jenny, I mean. Why did I say nurse?
I don't know. Yeah, Krogan, yeah, he would like
Yeah.
hit him and like stun him or whatever, and then he would like pull him away. Well, it was because Max wasn't there.
Yeah, Max
because
wasn't
this
there.
happened in Gen 4 and
Yeah.
Max was Gen 3. Max would grab Brock's ear and like pull
Yeah.
him away.
But Krogan just jabs him in the side. He's like, oh. But I like the whole evolution line for Krogan and Toxicroak. But Toxicroak I actually used competitively. Wasn't that great, but it still worked.
Yeah.
I like his design. I like the little red claws he has on his hands. Those are cool. And he looks like what Greninja probably would have been at this point in time if he wasn't a starter.
Yeah, and if
Greninja probably would have been Toxicroak.
yeah, and if Greninja was a water poison type instead of just being pure water and not pure water but water dark.
Yeah. Well, he can be any type. If he has a certain
Yeah, if he has the protein,
ability.
yeah, the
Yeah.
protein ability.
But there's not much to say about Toxicroak. He's just a cool looking Pokemon, honestly. Any last words
Yep,
before we move on?
just the fact that it's time to throw some shade and talk about the dark type next.
No, I see what you did there. Let's go.
Alright, so the dark type.
My favorite typing, actually.
Yeah. I kind of struggled a little bit with this one because for the longest time I did have a favorite dark type, which, by the way, just for future reference, the rest of these typings, I know who it is and it like wasn't that big of a deal. Just for making more than just one, like top 5 or top 10 favorite dark types are in Ghost and Ice, etc.
Which we could do.
Yeah. But like I said, for the longest time, I knew who my favorite dark type was because it was Absol. But a friend of mine who lives up north, that's his favorite Pokemon. And this is kind of a silly reason, but I felt kind of bad having that from one of my favorite, like for the typings.
Yeah.
So I had to go with basically my second favorite dark type. And now that's my number 1 favorite dark type, and it is Mightyena. Now, I do like Mightyena. Well, it's a dark type, and dark is one of my favorite typings. I like the fact that it's like a dog type Pokemon.
Yeah, it's like a dog wolf.
The only thing I don't care about Mightyena, which it's not his fault, but in the anime, either Team Aqua or Team Magma has that as one of their go-to
Yeah.
Pokemon, and because of that, it gets kind of portrayed as a really mean, evil, and bad Pokemon, and I don't really care for that. But yeah, I've never really used Mightyena like in the game or anything like that.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Really?
I
did
just
not know that.
now I would go and catch a Poochyena, but then I would just
Yeah.
I would go ahead and put it in the PC, and I would like not touch it afterwards.
You see those early on, though. They
Yeah.
get annoying after a while.
But yeah, like I said, I've never actually used it in a video game. Like as I just said, I would go and catch a Poochyena, but then put it in the PC.
Right.
I just really like Mightyena. I like Poochyena. I like the fact that it's a dark type because, as I just said, it's one of my favorite typings. So, I wish I could give more of a detail. Its moveset, on the other hand, is pretty cool because if you use Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, if you use the creeping feature, and there's like a device you can use, I don't know what it's called right now, but it gives you a sneak peek as to what the Pokemon is you're about to run into.
Pokerator?
Yeah, and using that and the creeping mechanic, if you do that, some Pokemon you run into will have like egg moves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And in one game, you can get a Poochyena with like Fire Fang or Ice Fang.
Easy to do if you want a competitive Pokemon.
Yeah, now that is pretty cool. I think my first time playing Alpha Sapphire, I did catch a Poochyena and I did use it for a little bit because it had Fire Fang or Ice Fang.
Yeah.
But after that, I caught other Pokemon I wanted to use instead. But yeah, I did enjoy using it for a little bit because it did have Fire Fang or Ice Fang. And I think it can also have Thunder Fang.
I think so.
I don't know which one mine had. I think it might have been like Fire Fang, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so yeah, that's why Mightyena is my favorite dark type.
My favorite dark type, and possibly my all-time favorite Pokemon, if I'm not mistaken. The first time I seen it, I flipped out. I'm like, okay, love it. Favorite Pokemon, no doubt. And that's Zoroark. I love me some Zoroark. I have 2 competitive Zoroarks. One with Nasty Plot.
Oh yeah.
Which is ridiculous. And the other one is just random. But I first seen Zoroark and I instantly fell in love because of the color scheme. I love the color scheme. My favorite color is right there. And it's a dark type, which is my all-time favorite typing. Once I played, what was it, Gen 5?
Yeah, Gen 5.
Gen 5, I instantly went straight for a Zoro. That way I can have Zoroark on my team. I needed it on my team.
Yeah, Zoro and Zoroark's pretty good, especially because it has the ability to where if you have it in your party, it'll appear as another Pokemon instead. It has the illusion ability.
Yeah, it appears as the last Pokemon in your party, if I'm not mistaken.
And because of that, it would confuse the Pokemon that you were battling to make them think that they can use a move that's effective against the Pokemon they think they're fighting.
Yeah.
And then once they attack you, the
illusion fades.
Yeah, illusion fades, and then they see that they're fighting a Zoro or Zoroark.
And if you use the illusion ability, you can use that Pokemon's moves as well. I think. But Zoroark is my all-time favorite Pokemon, if not in my top 5.
Yeah. Yeah, you were talking about how dark was your favorite type.
Typing.
Your favorite type. I think fairy, fighting, and water would have to be my 3 favorite types. Element types or whatever.
Yeah. On to Ghost now.
Okay, so with us doing Ghost, these next couple, for me anyway, I'm so like stupidly obsessed over, it's not even funny.
He is actually.
So with the Ghost type, there's actually quite a lot of Ghost Pokemon that I like, but this one is like way above them, and I think I've
top tier.
Yeah, and I think I've said that like many times in this video already. You guys got to give me a break. This has been a long video.
This is a real long video.
But yeah, my favorite Ghost type is Chandelure. And I like Chandelure because whenever the XY games came out, which actually I think Chandelure came out in Gen 5.
Chandelure came out in Gen 5, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I really didn't use Chandelure like a lot until the X and Y games, because Chandelure, if you catch one, you catch a Litwick in the Lost Hotel, and then level it up, and then go and get a Dusk Stone, and then evolve it. I was using this thing, Chandelure, in the Elite Four, in the Champion, so freaking much. I've actually been replaying Pokemon X and I would go and get a Litwick, evolve it, and then make it into a Chandelure and use it for the last stretch of the game because he is so broken during the end of the game. You get Flamethrower and Shadow Ball on this thing.
Yeah.
My Chandelure sweeped Diantha's team. I used Shadow Ball one after another, took down all 6 of her Pokemon. No joke. I would get my Chandelure up to like level 60 or 70. I could not get hit while playing that. But of course I would have to have like 4 other really strong Pokemon for the Elite Four, since they were Fire, Water, Dragon, and Steel.
Yeah.
I would at least have to have a Pokemon to, go up against those guys. But my Chandelure was my MVP going through Diantha and her Pokemon. Now afterwards, whenever the credits were done rolling and we were being awarded our stuff from Professor Sycamore, and then AZ showed up, and then you had to battle him. I don't really think my Chandelure did much for that battle, although I think it did. I don't really remember because the last time I played through X, I actually used other Pokemon besides Chandelure. But yeah, I just like the fact that he's a Chandelure, basically, and his shiny form is amazing. But yeah, Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, Chandelure's really good. Your turn.
Also very good in competitive battle.
Yeah, and plus he's in like those Smash Bros and Pokken Tournament.
No, he's in Pokken Tournament only.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah,
Pokken Tournament. Yeah. He's OP in Pokken Tournament, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
I've not got to play Pokken Tournament, but I really, really want that game.
Yeah.
But Lucario's also in there, I think. So.
Lucario is, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to like cycle through using Chandelure and using Lucario,
Yeah.
but I really do want to use in the Pokken Tournament.
I do recommend having at least 2 Pokemon to choose between.
Mm-hmm.
But my Ghost type, I only like it because it just looks cool. Haven't tried it in competitive battling, but I've tried it in my gameplay. My game playthrough, and that's Trevenant. I mean, what else can I say? I mean, it's a crazy looking tree. His shiny form looks awesome. It's red and white. His leaves are red. The rest of them's white, and then I believe the parts where the black is grayish black, if I'm not mistaken, and might be red too. I haven't seen it in quite some time, but
I have no idea. I've only seen a shiny Trevenant maybe once or twice.
I just like how dark he looks.
Real menacing looking.
Very menacing looking. Honestly, I just like him because of how he looks. There's not much I can really say unless I play, or unless I replay the games he's in and actually try him out. I do like other ghost types, but they're not that cool looking. Maybe Mega Gengar. Shiny Mega Gengar.
Ooh, yeah.
That's about it, actually. There's not very many ghost types that I actually enjoy.
Well, then next, time to chill out with the ice type.
Oh, I see what you
Alright, this is going to be kind of frosty, but we're talking about the ice type.
did. Frosty.
Yeah, like frosted tips. But that's for a different conversation.
That's a different thing. You said Frosty, and now all I can think of is Wendy's.
Yeah. I actually have quite a lot of ice types that I like to, just like Ghost, just like Dark, and just like the rest of these typings. But for the ice type, I actually chose Weavile. Now, just like with probably one of the other Pokemon I mentioned, oh yeah, it was with Mightyena. I don't actually ever remember me actually using a Weavile in the gameplay.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever used Weavile. Sneasel maybe, but very small.
Yeah. Now I do remember in later games, I do actually remember trying to go out of my way to get a Sneasel. It was something to do with the red leaf on their head or something like that. Some of them were long, some of them are tiny. I think that's the way to tell apart the boy Sneasel from the girl Sneasel, if I'm not mistaken.
I think the smaller it is, it's a big muscle.
Yeah. But like I said, I've never actually used a Weavile in gameplay. I just really like the way Weavile looks, taking a page out of your book. I do think it's interesting though, the way that you evolved it, because if I'm not mistaken, you gotta get a Sneasel and give it the Razor Claw, and then level it up a couple times, and then that helps it evolve into a Weavile. That's pretty cool.
It does take a while for it. It takes a lot.
Now, I've seen movies, the only one I can think of right now is Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. There's a character in the movie called Kit Summers, and she actually has 2 Weavile, and she uses them to help her hunt down and track and catch Mew, who is in the movie. And it's kind of funny because there's a scene where when the Weavile are trying to catch Mew, and Ash and the gang, their Pokemon, are battling the Weavile, and there's a huge explosion because they were both using Shadow Ball, and Pikachu used a Thunderbolt on the Shadow Ball, and there was a huge explosion. And when the dust cleared, it looked like the 2 Weavile was dancing, but they were actually getting ready to attack again. And Meowth was in the background, and he was like, are you guys going to attack or do a ballet? And I thought that was kind of funny.
I like Meowth.
That was kind of off topic, but yeah, like I said, I never really used Weavile.
Yeah.
Just hunting down Sneasel. But if I get the chance to, I really would like to use a Weavile, because he's such a cool Pokemon. He's so cool looking. Like put Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, maybe Slash, and something else on him, then I can guarantee he would be really good to have on a team.
He's actually pretty powerful.
Yeah, I just wish I could go back into the past and slap myself for not giving him the chance, because I know he's going to be really good and really awesome on a team. So
yeah. Now, for me, when it comes down to ice types, there are quite a few that I do enjoy, like Avalugg, Frostlass, Alolan Sandslash.
Oh yeah.
Weavile even. But there's one that always rises above the rest of them, and that is Cryogonal. Why? It's a giant snowflake. There's no other reason to like him. He's pretty powerful, I'll give you that much. But he's a giant snowflake, and he just looks awesome.
Man, it's like you're calling him these kids nowadays. They're known as the snowflakes. They're called.
He's the better snowflake.
Yeah, they're the snowflake generation because they get offended over everything.
He's the better snowflake.
Yeah.
But I have played, or I have used them in my Black and White playthrough. I only played White 2 for a little bit. I don't think I've ever finished it, but I'm in the process of doing that. I have
Yeah.
so many games I have to play though.
Yeah, you need to get on that, Boobla.
But Cryogonal is my top tier ice type Pokemon. For sure. Now on to Steel type.
Knuckle Bump.
Knuckle Bump.
Alright, so the Steel type,
My second favorite.
yeah. Well, we're about to come on to my second favorite here in a little while. But, okay, so when it comes to my favorite Steel type Pokemon, I kind of group this Pokemon and my Chandelure into the same group, because every time when I use Chandelure, I always have to use this Pokemon right beside it. Although it's kind of irritating in a way, because the way that I evolve Chandelure in this Pokemon,
It's the
you
same.
have to use the same kind of method, and because of that, it kind of irritates me in my gameplay. But my favorite Steel type Pokemon is Aegislash, or Aegislash, however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah.
And I love Aegislash, man. As soon as I seen the Pokemon for the very first time in the X and Y games, I knew I had to have one. And the way he was depicted in the anime with Sawyer, one of Ash's rivals, because he had an Aegislash, although you really didn't get to see much of him battling until the league battles, because Sawyer versed Ash, and there was a battle between his Aegislash and Ash's Pikachu. It was really cool because of Aegislash's ability, where he can either fight you or in a fighting stance or his defending stance, which is so cool. And they were battling in like these trees. Aegislash cut them all up because Pikachu was always hiding behind them. And whenever Aegislash did that, he was about to go back into his shield form. And Ash used Pikachu to use Iron Tail and smacked a piece of wood, and it stopped Aegislash from being able to go into his shield form. And for those of you that know, Aegislash is a little bit weaker in his sword form and not his shield form.
Yeah.
In his shield form, he's much more defensive.
Bulky.
And since Aegislash wasn't able to go into his shield stance, he was weaker, and Pikachu used like a thunder move or something, and that was able to make Aegislash faint. So that was pretty cool. And that's kind of why I like Aegislash, because there's no other Pokemon that I know of that has like an attack
And defense.
Stance and a defense stance, which is so freaking cool.
I think he's the only one. I can't think of any more.
Yeah, and that's why I really like him. And his moveset that you can give him is freaking awesome. If you give him King Shield, some kind of like a sword move like Sacred Sword, Shadow Sneak, which gives him priority.
Yeah.
And that Shadow Sneak is
Sword dance.
Shadow Sneak is really good on Aegislash. Like I said, he gets stabbed because he's still in Ghost.
Yeah.
So if you have Shadow Sneak on your Aegislash, and like if your opponent has like a little bit of HP left, use that and it'll always go first, and then you can make their Pokemon faint.
Yeah.
But yeah, hit the shield move, like a Sacred Sword, Shadow Sneak, and some kind of like iron, some like a Steel type move, like Iron Head. Then there you go, a really good move set for your Aegislash.
Don't get me wrong, Aegislash is a very, very good Pokemon, especially competitively.
Oh yeah.
But I hate facing it. It's so stupid.
Yeah. I really like Aegislash. Like I said, I always have to have him and Chandelure in my team. Don't ask why. Maybe it's because they both have the ghost typing, but yeah, because whenever I went back and I replayed Pokemon X, I did get my Aegislash first, because getting Dawnstones in Pokemon X and Y
are very difficult.
Yeah, they're very difficult because one that I can think of, you've got to go into a cave, and then you can get a duck stone there. And the next one that I can remember, you can't get it until after you beat the Elite Four and you beat the game.
Yeah.
Then you can go somewhere and a ex Team Flare member will give you another duck stone. So last time I played, I literally had to wonder trade away my Xerneas just so I could get a Chandelure. Then I had my Chandelure and my Aegislash on my team. So, yeah. Alright, enough of me talking. Who's your favorite Steel type? Sorry, I could go on forever. I love Pokemon.
I do hate facing Aegislash though, but I did beat it with the Blaziken. Mega Blaziken.
Shut it.
I'm just saying. My favorite Steel type of all time is Mega Metagross. Reason being is he was one of my first shiny Pokemon that were competitive when I first got Omega Ruby. Because I got a timid Beldum and it was shiny.
Yeah, I think it was that game because I was thinking about this a while back.
I got it from the demo.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to think. I'm thinking, I know you can get a shiny Beldum. I just can't think of how and what game it was.
Yeah, that was a demo for Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. We got a shiny Beldum, and mine was actually competitive. Surprisingly. It had competitive stats and everything. So I still have that, by the way. I still have that same Metagross as level 100. That's very sentimental to me because of that was my first shiny in the new series of Pokemon games.
Yeah.
And it was my first competitive one. So.
Yeah, Metagross is really good. It's a Steel Psychic type.
Yeah.
And Steven Stone, his go-to Pokemon is Metagross. And he actually has a Mega Metagross whenever you face him after you beat the Elite Four in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. He actually has a Mega Metagross. And my first time playing it, if I'm not mistaken, I had such a hard time.
His Metagross is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's freaking bullet punch. It's like a comet type move, like Comet Punch or something like that. But yeah, I struggled.
Cosmic Punch or something?
I don't know, something like that. I struggled so hard with Steven's Mega Metagross.
I hated his Mega. I hate his, but I love mine.
Yeah.
And now on to Dragon.
Alright, so dragons.
Dragon.
I'm gonna kill you.
Alright.
Alright, so when it came to dragons, which this surprised me when I was making my list, I actually have a lot of dragon type Pokemon that I like. Now, originally...
See, I'm the opposite.
Yeah. Now, originally, this spot was gonna go to Garchomp because I freaking love Garchomp. Freaking Cynthia's Garchomp is a freaking beast, man.
I hate it.
Oh, dude. And she is one of my favorite champions.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah. I freaking love Cynthia. I love Garchomp. Now, hers was a beast, no pun intended, to go up against. But, like I said, this was going to go to Garchomp. But, the more I thought about it, the more I realized that there was one dragon type in particular that had to take this spot, and thanks to a certain Pokemon movie, which once again the name is escaping me because I'm a stupid idiot, but because of that movie, it made me love this dragon type even more, and that's Latias.
See, what's funny is you like Latias and I like Latios.
Right, yeah.
But what I don't like is that their megas are the exact same.
Yeah, like I said,
And Pokemon and Game Freak just gave up on that.
Yeah. But like I said, there's a movie that made me like Latias even more. It was the movie where Ash ended up getting kissed by this one girl, and it turns out that it was a Latias.
See, that weirded me out a little bit.
I freaking liked it. I thought it was so cute.
It had human emotions.
Yeah.
And it had human contact.
Yeah, but it made me like Latias even more. So just because of that movie alone, I had to put Latias above Garchomp. And I'm sorry, Garchomp, I'll make it up to you one day, I swear to God.
Wait, just because of that movie, that went up above Garchomp?
Yeah, because that scene was so cute. Ash got kissed by a Latias.
You see? That is weird.
This, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is not normal. Don't be like him.
And Garchomp is stronger than Latias, if I'm not mistaken.
I have no idea. But yeah,
especially Mega Garchomp.
But yeah, I like Latias. I think she's just so adorable. And the fact that in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, you could actually ride on a Latias and a Latios around the region, that was so cool. And plus, they got a Mega form, which was really cool.
What I want them to bring back is that flying technique.
Yeah.
I want that. Like 3D on the Switch, flying over the city.
Yeah, flying around the Galar region.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
That'd be so awesome.
But yeah, I do like Latias because of all those things I just mentioned. She's a dragon type. I love dragon types. Now her moveset, on the other hand, excuse me, I don't really know very much because this is kind of sad, but as soon as I got my Latias in my Alpha Sapphire game, as soon as I didn't need it anymore, I boxed it and used other Pokemon instead, which I could like hear her crying in the Pokemon box, like, Preston, come get me, put me back on your team.
I miss you.
And it makes me so sad because I want to use a Latias. I really want to use one, but I don't think it's just not that good with battling. So
you'd be surprised, actually.
I mean, because there's just other Pokemon that I have to use in that game instead. I mean, plus I have like Swellow. I think it was Swellow. That's my go-to flying Pokemon. So because using the Eon Flute to get Latias and fly around and Mega Evolve it while you're flying, that's okay. But I prefer to use my Swellow and just use Fly.
Yeah.
It's a lot quicker that way. I mean, because when I'm playing, I want to play it, beat it, and then move on. That's how I play my Pokemon games. That's why it usually takes me just like 3 or 4 days to beat a Pokemon game.
Yeah.
So, but anyway.
He has no time on his hands.
That's why Latias is my favorite dragon type. I don't think that was a good enough of a reason, but yeah, there you go. Take it at face value.
Latios is not my favorite dragon type, but he's top 5 or top 10. But when it comes to competitive battling for Latias, it's basically the same moveset as Latios, but with like one change. So, but my favorite dragon type, when I first seen it, I knew it was my favorite, and it was one of my favorite starters as well. That's Mega Charizard.
Boo! Charizard sucks!
Get out of here.
I don't wanna.
Mega Charizard. My second competitive Pokemon that I bred myself, may I add.
And you told me I had no time on my head or whatever.
Well, I needed a competitive Charizard. I hatched it from an egg, bred it myself, leveled it up, got the moveset on my own. And that was one of my very first Pokemon that I bred for competitive battle.
I think Charizard is so overrated, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt because he is finally able to be a dragon type.
Yeah.
Which Charizard lovers out there, you'll probably agree with me. The fact that he actually is now can be a dragon type, you know, if you Mega Evolve it anyway. This one anyway, the blue Charizard. Now the other Charizard is still fire and flying, but this one gets the dragon type.
Charizard X is dragon. Charizard Y is still flying fire.
Yeah. Now the benefit of the doubt I was talking about, this one, Charizard X over Charizard Y, I like this one better, just because it has the blue kind of coloring to it, and blue's my favorite colors, so.
I like the black and blue together. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And his eyes are red too.
Yeah.
Charizard X, Mega Charizard X, very powerful. But what I don't like is its battle animation where he's just like hovering there.
Yeah.
Like there's pictures of him standing. So why can't he just stand while he's battling?
Something else I like about Charizard X is that in Pokemon X and Y, it kind of happened during the middle and near the end of the XYZ saga. There was a character called Alon. Well, that's how they pronounce his name in the anime anyway, but it's actually spelled like Alan, but they say Alon. He was another rival of Ash's in the anime, and during the middle and near the end of the saga, you actually get to see that he actually has this Mega Charizard X. It's his go-to Pokemon, because whenever he was growing up, he actually did have a Charmander, and it leveled up into a Charizard, and the leader of Team Flare, which his name is escaping me, he actually gave the Mega Stone to Alon, if I'm not mistaken, for him to actually evolve it into a Charizard X to help him master Mega Evolution also. And also in the Pokemon Chronicles, Ash had this Charizard and it beat the crap out of him too.
Another thing, Charizard is one of the only Pokemon to have 2 Megas. Mewtwo's the other one.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, which is another reason why I say he's overrated. He gets too much. Like that's just not fair. Why couldn't my Blastoise get 2 Mega Evolutions?
Well, because we were whining about him not being a dragon. So this is what they had to do.
Yeah. Oh, and I just remembered the leader of Team Flare was Lysander. Okay.
I knew it started with an L.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking Lannister?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay.
But anyway.
Last but not least, Dragon's weakness, sadly.
Yeah.
Fairy type.
I'm so excited. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we finally made it to the last type.
The finale.
And if you stuck around for this long, you get...
I salute you.
You get, like, 10 points, I guess.
10 points to Gryffindor.
I don't know when we were handing out points, but you get 10 points. You get 10 friendship points because you made it to the fairy type.
I love you.
And hopefully this video's not very long. If it is, we apologize. I just like
There's 18 types.
And I just like to talk about Pokemon. Give me a break. You're the one that's watching this video.
Yeah, it's annoying sometimes.
Anyway, so fairy type. Whenever this type came out, I freaking loved it because we finally got an answer to the dragon type, which like tormented me and my squad for like ever, because in my opinion, the way I played, the dragon type was like so difficult to like put down and like stomp like they need to be.
Gyarados. Isn't Gyarados dragon?
When it mega evolves, it gets the dragon type. But yeah, and whenever they announced the fairy type, and some Pokemon from the older gens got the fairy typing, which I thought was kind of cool.
Like Marill.
And like Mawile got a fairy typing because before it was just Steel.
Togepi.
Yeah, and Jigglypuff was normal, but now it's a pure fairy type.
Yeah. Wigglytuff.
And around the same time, there was a new evolution that was announced, and I immediately fell in love with this thing.
Yeah.
It's my second favorite type. It's my second favorite Pokemon behind Lucario, and it is the fairy type evolution Sylveon. And I love this thing to death.
He does. He has a plushie of it.
Yeah. Well, I have that one, Poplio and Finnegan, but
Yeah.
and
He's a sad, strange little man.
and I love Sylveon's shiny.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, it is the blue. Yeah, everywhere where you see pink, it's basically light blue. That's
basically, the colors of Sylveon now, you just switch.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I love Sylveon. Its pixelate ability, freaking pixelate hyper voice. Oh my goodness.
So good.
And then they can learn like Shadow Ball, Moonblast.
I hate Moonblast.
I just love Sylveon. Like I said, it's my second favorite Pokemon behind Lucario. I was talking before how I had to have certain Pokemon on my team every time I play. Well, before I said every time I play a Pokemon game, rather it's my first time playing it or I'm replaying it. Like I said with Pokemon X and how I replayed Alpha Sapphire. Every time I play a game, I have to have Lucario if I'm able to get it, and if there's an Eevee in the game, I have to catch an Eevee and friendship evolve it into a Sylveon. Lucario and Sylveon, I always have to have them in a game because in my mind, it's like Lucario is the older brother and Sylveon is the younger sister, and Lucario has to defend Sylveon, like the older brother protecting his younger sister.
Way to think about it. Way too much.
Because that's just the way it is whenever I'm
Way
playing.
to overthink it.
But yeah, like I said, Sylveon is so freaking gorgeous. I love its shiny form. It's just really good. I love its moveset. It's just awesome.
My favorite fairy type, honestly, I like Sylveon, but I like this one more because I have a competitive one, and that's Togekiss. I love me some Togekiss. I don't know why.
On the other hand, I can't stand Togekiss.
He doesn't like my Togekiss, to be specific.
Mostly for competitive battling because Togekiss is a freaking tank. You put freaking Aura Spirit on it, Air Slash, and I can't think of the other.
Fire Blast.
Yeah.
Nasty Plot Fire Blast.
Yeah, Nasty Plot. Yeah, a Nasty Plot Togekiss with Aura Spirit and Air Slash.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, that thing is so freaking bulky.
Oh yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, in these earlier Pokemon seasons, if I'm not mistaken, I think Misty might have showed up maybe once, maybe twice, and she had a Togekiss.
She did have a Togekiss. Yes.
I know that she did have Togepi, and her Togepi evolved into a Togetic, and in one of the episodes, she had to let her Togetic go and help protect other Togepi in an episode.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if she did come back in later seasons and had a Togetic, I'm not mistaken, or a Togekiss, or whatever, because now I'm confusing them. but anyway.
His brain is melting.
Well, it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. Give me a break.
It's actually 4 in the morning as we're filming this.
Oh my god, I'm so tired.
But I just like the way Togekiss looks. I wish it would look a little different, but I can't complain because it's very powerful.
Get a shiny one. Maybe it'll look better.
I don't know what a shiny one looks like, actually.
I don't know either.
But anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this favorite Pokemon of each type. There's 18 types, and we spent a lot of work, or a lot of time working on this.
Yeah. So, Anyway, so it's time for us to sign off. Thumbs up if you made it this far. 10 points to each and every one of you.
10 points to Gryffindor.
So yeah, we're about to head out. So we'll start saying our goodbyes. In the comments section down below, if you guys are watching this, tell us your favorite Pokemon of each type.
And let us know if you want to see our top 5 favorite of each type, or any other Pokemon related top 5.
Yeah, so tickle that subscribe button, thumbs up, ring the bell to be notified about our upcoming videos. And yeah, that'll pretty much do it for now.
Stay nerdy, my friends.
Peace.